Welcome to beautiful Rockport, Arkansas, from the banks of the gorgeous Ouachita River. Now this seems like the kind of spot where you'd see a van with some alcoholic fishermen parked up, you know, getting more so getting hammered than really catching anything. But today it's just me, and we're going to check out some of the cool plants we got growing here. Stepping over the thickets of poison ivy, we'll look at this native passion flower, Passiflora incarnata. Look at that androgynophore. Those three styles up top. That's the female part of the flower, the gynoecium, and those styles, of course, have those stigmas, those green stigmas on the undersides. And then below that style, and the ovary is at the base of the style. Between the female part and the male part, you got that green ovary, and then down at the just beneath the ovary, you got those five-branched the androecium, the male part. So those are the stamens. And they got pollen. Look at it, looking like little yellow brake pads. Those are the anthers. Then you got that whole corona thing, all the frilly shits to get the pollinators in. I think there's like 800 species of passion flower. They got one for every season. One for every fucking, actually they got they got one for every fucking, I can't think of any. They got a lot of fucking passion flowers, but you can see them right there. I just, you know, I made sure not to touch them because beneath it is a bunch of poison ivy and I react really badly to it. Okay, let's move the fuck on. Let's go, come on. Got a native platanus. Oh, look at those rocks over there. You ever gone down to Ouachita River in a canoe? Have you ever gone down to Ouachita River in a canoe while hammered and gotten in a boating accident? If you have, please comment, let me know. Anyway, look at that wonderful rock formation. You can tell we're not on limestone anymore. Looks a little bit harder than limestone. Looks like it's been cooked a little bit. Limestone does not weather like that. It's quite interesting. Oh yeah, there we go. Conoclinium. Conoclinium celestinum. Stevia tribe Eupatorii from Asteraceae to sunflower family. See those long pink hairy looking things? Those are the styles. Each one corresponds to an individual flower inside what looks like its own flower, that capitulum. I don't think I've seen this. I've seen this species in cultivation, but never in situ before. I've seen other species. Let's keep going. What else we got down here? We're stepping over here. It's good. Gives me a chance to wash all the poison ivy and urushiol off my goddamn boots. Look, we got a mimulus. We got a monkey flower. That's Mimulus elatus. Look at that. Look at that keeled green calyx. See, that's so distinct. The one on the right, the flower fell off. It already got pollinated. You still got the style sticking out, the style and the stigma, aka the gynoecium. And that's going to be filled with hundreds of tiny seeds. And then that one on the left is still going off. Bilaterally symmetrical flower. Mimulus is a cool genus. It used to be a lot bigger until Dr. Naomi Fraga split it up, looked at the DNA and realized, oh shit, this is not one single genus, but a bunch of different genera. Diplacus and Erythranth are the western ones. They used to be formerly classified as Mimulus, but then got split up into Diplacus and Erythranth because it turned out they weren't as closely related to this genus, though they're in the same family as was originally thought. And this, of course, turned out to be a more eastern genus. But the whole family goes back, you know, they got some members in Australia too, some members of Phrymaceae in Australia too. There's I think there's like 10 genera. Cool fucking plant though, all right? And super species rich. The Diplacus and the Erythranth at least are super species rich out west, out in California. Stepping over here, we got a nice Helenium species. Oh yeah, there we go. With that button-like receptacle. And those spreading yellow flowers, all right? Looks like, you know, like a clown collar. The clown collar ligules, I call them. Just little yellow ligules spreading out from that button. And then, of course, that whole button has, you know, 100, 200 individual tiny flowers in it. Check out the wings on this one, too. See that? Got winged stems right there. A lot of the Heleniums love water. There's a few that don't. Oh, I didn't even realize. Is that a log or what the shit is that? Is that a log or a rock? Looks like a log. Oh, look, it's such a nice river. I made the dogs go in there because they were walking around in a bunch of poison ivy earlier. So I made them, you know, go in there, take a little wash. Look, Verbena brasiliensis, that's an invasive. All right, token riparian invasive right there. Tiny little purple verbena flowers. Beautiful Novaculite exposures here. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Crime Pays a Botany Doesn't. I'm here on the banks of the beautiful Ouachita River. And I think I'm in Rockport, Arkansas. I don't know where the shit I am. I don't even pay attention anymore. I just follow the plants. Anyway, we're here to look at one of Arkansas's only endemic plant species. That's a plant that only grows within the geopolitical confines of the state of Arkansas, so far as I know. At least I think that's, I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but I'm like 99% sure. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, it grows on these river-scoured Novaculite exposures along the rivers here in central Arkansas. Now that is a habitat niche, that's an ecological niche if I've ever seen one. And Novaculite, again, is a biogenic silica. The same way that limestone is biogenic calcium carbonate, Novaculite, in this case, is biogenic silica, right? From Radiolarians, which is that guy right there. That's a Radiolarian. That's the whole reason I got the tattoo. Single-celled plankton that build their shells out of silica. And so that's why you get these silica exposures right here. So, and I think this is the same age as some of the exposures you get in West Texas that have a lot of rare cacti on them that have adapted to this specific substrate. So there's edaphic endemism, that is plants that only grow on a certain substrate. There's edaphic endemics that only grow on Novaculite. Anyway, the point is, we're going to check this plant out. We're going to check some of the other stuff growing along the riverbanks, and we're going to look. We're going to be on the lookout for alcoholic fishermen, because it's a, it's a Midwest thing. It's Midwest and Central U.S. I really appreciate. I mean, it's everywhere, but I especially appreciate the ones in the humid rivers and bottomlands of the Midwest and Central U.S. Here we go. I do appreciate an alcoholic fisherman. I'm not going to lie. Come out here, they're just getting hammered. Slowly drinking a 24-ounce can of Milwaukee's Beast after 24-ounce can of Milwaukee's Beast, after maybe a Natty Light, maybe a Keystone, whatever. Anyway, yeah, you could sit and chat them up for a while until they start punishing you, and then you just politely say goodbye. Oh look, there's that Elephantopus again. God, that's such a weird composite. Holy shit, that's so weird. So weird to think that's Asteraceae. A head of heads, a head of flower heads. And then right here we got Rudbeckia laciniata. There's two beetles fucking in it. That makes sense. Okay, there we go. With the individual corollas right there, you could see them very, very plainly. It's then of course get a nice. Well, these beetles have probably those same beetles have taken the leaves apart, but you could see the foliage. The Rudbeckia radibeta, they can all be kind of a clusterfuck. It's good to know the different species in your region if you live in the Midwest or the East. Now let's go over there. That looks good. Oh, it's kind of hard to get down there. Everything's so overgrown. I'm not used to these lush, insect-ridden habitats. Look at that, though. Look at that rock. Oh, someone had told me that this was a Novaculite exposure, and now I kind of believe it. It's silicious rock. It was formed in a marine environment. Basically, it was once silicious ooze. The same way that calcareous ooze turns into limestone, silicious ooze turns into Novaculite. There's probably biogenic silica. That black speckling is just lichen and, living organisms on it. But, oh, that's nice. How about that? Okay, there's our target plant. I could see it down there. See those wispy bastards? Alright, we just got to figure out a way down there that doesn't involve walking through a homeless camp or getting a bunch of ticks and poison ivy. Look at these old bridge houses. That's cool. Yeah, just random detritus and garbage. You could tell somebody was living under here at some point. It is mildly sketchy, but not enough to hold us back from rare Arkansas endemics. You could see, you could just follow this little makeshift path along the gravels and ballast and whatnot. Oh, there's somebody lost a tube. It's nice. A little tubing down a river. Looks like some mildly toxic water. Now, what we do have here, it does appear to be Novaculite exposures. Oh yeah, that's nice. Look at that shit. God damn it. Oh, a lot of Novaculite endemics. Oh yeah, biogenic silica. That's the name of the game. This is a nice spot. Fucking Lespedizas down here. This is a nice spot. Not overgrown, rocky. Yeah, look at this. That's honest to God chert. Forget what the age of this was. I'll have to look. Oh, there we go. There you go. Vernonia lettermannii. One of the few Arkansas endemic plants. Doesn't seem like it's going off. Looks like it's, maybe it's about to. Maybe we can find some that are blooming. Look at how linear those leaves are. Super glabrous though, not fuzzy like Vernonia lindheimeri, which is another variation on the theme of the genus Vernonia that you get in West Texas. You get Vernonia larsenii and Vernonia lindheimeri. Lindheimeri around the Austin area, and Edwards Plateau, Larsenii out there by Sanderson in the Chihuahua Desert. And they're both so fuzzy, so tomentose and pubescent. There we go. Oh, I love this. Look at that, loving the rocks. Surprised it's not getting shaded out here, but it's also not getting any competition. Look at it, there you go. God damn, what a weird ironweed. I love this whole genus. You gotta look behind me, make sure there's not like a wino holding a pipe sneaking up behind me or something, you know. It'd be a way to go. God, look at that. Look how much they reduced that leaf surface. Vernonia lettermannii. Who is Letterman? Maybe it was named after the talk show host. Is it named after that guy? It wouldn't be so painful. God, look at those white anther tubes, little curly Q styles at the top. And then there's that involucre. Weird variation on a Vernonia. You could see it right there too. Oh yeah, look at that wispy foliage. Holy shit, that's cool. Arkansas endemics. Do you like Arkansas endemics? What if you were just trying to, you know, be a wino under a bridge? You know, you got like a little stove or something. You spray your shit on a wall every once in a while, every couple days or something, and then you hear some degenerate, you know, down here cursing and talking to himself, filming plants. What would you think? I love this rock exposure. I could see why they built the bridge here. This is nice. You got more of that rock exposures down there. I wonder if you got any Vernonia down there. Really cool habitat. Reportedly, this Vernonia only grows in these river-scoured rocky habitats on these Novaculite exposures. It's got kind of a reduced range. Oh, that's cool. What the fuck were these bridge towers for? What's that about? And then mimicking the same leaf shape, the same phyllotaxy and a leaf shape, you have Amsonia hubrichtii, which you would almost mistake for a Vernonia if it were not for these fruits, these bullhorn-like fruits, which are so indicative of the oleander family Apocynaceae, which this is in. But why did these two plants evolve this really narrow linear leaf shape? Did they come from a drier spot? Well, probably not, because they're not hairy. They're glabrous. Maybe they got a little bit of hairs in it. You got hairs in it? No. Super waxy. Waxy opposite leaves, about 4 to 5 inches long, and maybe, what is that, 3 millimeters wide? Wow, I'd love to see these when they're going off. There's another one. Yeah, see there. That's what we were looking at from the bridge. Up there, some kids are going to throw rocks at me. You know? God, that's fucking cool. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. There's that Vernonia lettermannii. What a fucking cool habitat. Look at how draped and lichened that hill is. That little mound. Well, it's a rock exposure. It's a little rocky hill. Let's go up there. We got the dogs chilling in the car, you know. Leave the AC on for them. Put on a nice song. I put on Willie's Roadhouse. Jack likes Willie's Roadhouse. He's about to leave us soon. He's 15 years young. Look at how thick this moss is. Moss and lichen. Moss is not dead. It's just poikilohydric. It's just waiting for moisture. It's just dormant right now. Oh, look at those rocks too. Yeah, definitely not limestone, but definitely transported from further upriver. You like Willie's Roadhouse? You know, classic country. I always put that on for Jack. God, this is a fucking great speed. Who's growing this one? You know? Who's growing this? Shout out to Joel over there in Little Rock. Right? He's a young guy. He's a burgeoning native plant grower. Joel, you got to come down here, past the wino camps and everything, and get some seeds of this, because this needs to be grown. Love to see this in a garden. You know, plant it next to like a sidewalk or a concrete path, you know, so it's got an opening next to it. It's not going to get overgrown. What a fucking cool species. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's cool. Look at that thing. Growing straight out the rock. Straight out of a crack in the Novaculite. Someone really got to come back and get seeds of this. You got to come back here. You got to get seeds. You got to grow the shit out of this thing. You know, do it in little rock gardens, you know, throughout the state of Arkansas. Eventually you get enough plants growing in your yard, you can collect seeds and go disperse them in some of those lame-ass retention ponds for, you know, the strip malls that Americans love so much. Yeah, look at that, just biogenic silica. It's been cooked a little bit, it looks like. You can see how it was maybe laid down in layers, but it has been metamorphosed. Ah, lovely habitat. Look at that. Ah. Oh, here's a nice one. Yeah, they look a little light-starved, if I do say so myself. See this one? Doesn't look happy. Oh, but there's seeds in there. How about that? Wonder if they're good yet. Man, I just can't get over this rock. This is some really nice rock. This is some really nice Novaculite. Is that indeed what it is? I almost don't believe it. I should have read up on this before I came out here. God damn, that's beautiful. Beautiful rock. Definitely been cooked. Definitely slightly metamorphosed. You know, it would seem to me create some very cool habitat. Would have loved to see this before they built the bridge. What was growing here? I bet all up and down the river there's some really nice exposures of this rock. And again, that Vernonia grows here because it can grow without competition. Not a lot of stuff can grow out of cracks in rock. Right? Most stuff needs soil. That Vernonia and that Amsonia apparently do not. Not even any beer cans. How about that? Yeah, Arkansas Novaculite is the stratigraphic formation here. That's actually the name of it. And it's quite old, 340 million years old. So that's a 340 million year old seafloor. Look at that Amsonia. See, there you go. There's a nice money shot of it with those hanging follicles. Milkweeds have follicles too. It's a type of fruit that I think refers to a couple different families, but definitely it refers to fruits of the family Apocynaceae, the oleander family. Oleander produces the same kind of fruit. Pachypodium, Asclepias, etc. See? Little bullhorns, 2 follicles. Looks like 2 string beans notched at the tip. They come together at the tip, fused at the tip. So evidently this rock exposure must be abundant enough in the region for this stuff to have evolved. You know, this ecological niche of growing on Novaculite exposures along the river-scoured Novaculite exposures, was prevalent enough in the last however many tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years for these 2 species to have evolved. Because the adaptive benefit conferred by those thin leaves, it's humid as hell, but thin leaves, is that they can grow on dry areas. And this is certainly a dry site. It's a humid region, but this is a dry site. There's no soil here. At least that's my hypothesis, because you rarely see these kinds of things. You got the Amsonia on the left right here. These are herbarium bunches I'm taking, and a Vernonia right here. You rarely see very thin linear leaves like this unless there's either intense heat or dry. And this is certainly dry. But again, there's no hair on them too, which is kind of confounding. But again, it's humid as balls. So, you know, humid as a ball sack in a vinyl sweater. Does that make sense? Does that make you want to gag? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, I'm really out of here. I'm really out of here now. I'm just enamored with this habitat. Got to suck it all in. Ah, really incredible, man. You know, you get some teens coming down here to come spray paint Slayer or something on that pole, and then they'll, you know, maybe get into botany or something along the way. You know, who knows? Get hit on the head, fall asleep, pass out next to a damn Vernonia, and say, "What the shit is this?" Probably not, but one can dream, right? That could be the future of the world we all want. Look at that Novaculite. So nice. Okay, really now, that's all I got. Have a great day. Go fuck yourself. Bye. Beautiful sunset. Look at that. Oh, the fucking love sign. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I just triggered you. Reminded you of the consumer dystopian hellscape in which... Okay, here we go. We're getting the fuck out of here. Take care. Have a great night. Bye. Oh, I'm definitely getting poison ivy. Definitely. It's everywhere. You can't escape it, man. God damn it. I walked right by that shit. If I can get out of here without... You got to walk slow. Learn to identify it and walk slow. Look at these rocks. I do want to take some of these rocks. How am I going to hold myself back from taking these rocks? There's no tweakers out here. Who lost their tube? Maybe it was a tweaker that left the tube out here. You know? Contrary to popular belief, tweakers can get stuff done. Maybe not stuff that's going to work. It might be kind of, you know, janky after they build it, after they organize it, but they can get stuff done. I've seen it happen. Look at these trash piles. Holy shit. Did I leave anything? Oh, I think I stepped in a bummy turd on my way out. Oh, Christ. There we go. Okay, growing at the margin of a woodland, sandy substrate. Yeah, it's like sandy loam clay. Got red in there, so there's obviously some iron, and it's probably somewhat acidic. We got this cool Vernonia texana. If you could see that right there, all right? Kind of like coriaceous leaves, a little bit stiff. Doesn't look like any of the ironweeds you get up north. Doesn't get too tall. That reduced surface area of the leaf tells you it's probably built for heat. And then there's the leaves. You can see it's got kind of a hispid texture. See all those hairs? Let's take a look at the flowers. Look at it. The flower heads are much reduced. Not that big. Oh, look, the maroon tip to those phyllaries. Oh, dense. You can see the pappus just sticking out already. That might just be that individual. Because that flower is kind of old. But definitely a reduced size to the capitulum, to that flower head. Cool, variations on a Vernonia. You know, a lot of them look alike. That one looks pretty different. Let's keep walking down here. So you got oaks, you got pines. What else we got? We got some sassafras, all kinds of stuff. Just, you know, it looks like a typical southeastern woodland. But we actually got some pretty cool species up here. There you go. Here's a genus colloquially known, and I shit you not, is the fuzzy bean. Stropha styles is the genus. Got that banner petal in the back. It is a true lichen. Got that banner petal in the back, and you got that kind of twisted keel, and then those wing petals. All right, a genuine bean flower. There's that green calyx, and then there's like a little bean pod ovary, bean pod shaped ovary inside that'll contain the seeds when it fruit matures. And then there's those little leaves, those triphid leaves, Phoboides subfamily of the pea family, Fabaceae. That's a heterothecal, all that yellow shit's. More open woodland. Still needs a fire, but it's nice to see it's a little open. All right, this one's kind of cool because you wouldn't think that this is a member of the sunflower family, but indeed it is. This is a genus we don't really get out west at all. This is the genus Elephantopus. Look at that. A bunch of flower heads stuck together. Actually, this might just be all one capitula. No, those are individual capitula, I believe. Yeah, oh wow, that's weird. And then it's got a basal rosette leaves too. The leaves definitely give the impression of Asteraceae, but the flowers do not. You know, you'd see this, you'd almost think it's like a, you know, without looking too hard, you'd almost initially think it's Comelinaceae, but those are monocots. And then after that, I think Rubiaceae or something. You know, until you get really up close and look at it, and you could see those forked styles sticking out, those little white forked styles. And oh, and then you see that's an aggregation of capitula. Pretty weird. Yeah, we don't get this out west very much at all. That's cool. Look at it, all the habitat's been destroyed. So I'm reduced to doing botany at the edge of a housing subdivision. But you know, I'll take what I can get. You know, there's going to be some plants that survive the bulldozing somewhere. You get the eastern half, no, entire eastern half of the country's like this. So look at this. You can see those pink things. There's about 4 individual flowers coming out of one of those. Yeah, so that is indeed an aggregation of flower heads. It's a head of heads here in Elephantopus. Those little pink things, you got 4 of those little pink things, each one a flower coming out of that individual involucre. God, look at all that. Look how hispid that is too. Look at those stiff little hairs.